Hey, y'all, it's Keisha. Oh my gosh. So, I decided to record a video today because I'm having one of those days that I know a lot of people have, which is you're like, you know what? People are either going to love me or they can kick rocks, right? I mean, you may have more colorful language than that, so be it. But that's the gist of it. Is you know what? They're either gonna love me or they're not. I have something to say and I'm gonna say it. They can unfriend me, delete me, do whatever they please, so long as they're not harming me. I'm good. Keep it moving, right? And I wanted to talk about this because I know that from my work over all these years with powerful, amazing, ambitious, brilliant people, that there is often an underlying thing when people are at that place. And it can kind of be summed up as to I feel like I'm losing my voice. I feel like I need to find my voice again, or I feel like I need to learn how to tell my story, or I feel like I need to learn how to speak up and tell my truth and still feel safe and like my credibility and all these things that I've worked hard for are not ruined and come crashing down. And I wanted to give you some encouragement and say a couple of things about that. Your voice matters. What you have to say matters and it's important. Well, especially if you follow me because, not everybody got something important to say, but I will say that. And how much longer will you go? How many more years will you let your voice kind of stir you up inside? How much longer will you go before you allow yourself to speak up and inspire and encourage other people who are looking for someone that's been through what they've been through to kind of come up from the ashes and, really show that it can be done? Why are you silencing yourself? It's a really big problem that we have, especially as women, especially people who are dealing with traumas and insecurities and phobias and people who need shifts in the way that they're thinking about things and people who need to develop even more confidence, not in themselves, not in their capabilities, because I know that you can do it. And that's one of the scary parts is that if you finally speak up, if you finally use your voice, if you finally say what you need to say, it's going to shift the perspective of so many people. But you have somewhere along the way lost confidence in your ability to actually push the button and do it. You wake up and I'm going to say this and I don't care. I'm going to tell people if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And then before you push enter or submit or whatever, you've talked yourself out of it. Well, let me think about it a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to do it right after this or something. We're really good at doing that thing that we do. And how much longer are you ready to see that your story, your experiences, the very essence of who you are is a legacy, right? It doesn't just have to be your expertise, your accomplishments, what you have done, what people think you do. It is who you are and the contribution that your experiences can make to help other people. If you're dealing with trauma, maybe it could be something like money trauma, right? That's keeping you from speaking up because you are so traumatized that the money won't be there if clients may walk away if they really knew, your experience. Even if it's not something terrible, it's that thing we do that keeps us in that spinning motion and not honoring ourselves, even though we desire to reach the next level of where we are going. And maybe that same money trauma, for example, is keeping you in a job that you don't want to be in or going back to jobs even though you want to have a leadership platform and do your own thing, right? It's like the fear of, oh my God, if people find out my husband is in prison, my clients are going to think I'm a criminal. What are people going to think? I'm going to lose all my credibility. I've worked so hard. That is a huge part of my story. And at the end of the day, the people who love you, like, celebrated me even more. They're like, you are so amazing. And they knew that I had experiences that I could teach about and educate people about and share about. They knew that I had a perspective that was quite different. And people wanted to know more about it, right? There are so many experiences that we have in our lives that truly make up our one story, the story of who we are. And it is so heartbreaking to me to see so many women suffering in silence, not using their voices, feeling like they've lost their voices, feeling like they want to tell their story, but they don't know how to do it in a way that feels safe, that feels secure, that feels loving and nurturing. And that is why I know that I have to step up and bring this work into the world in a bigger way. The difference about working with me is that we go deeper. We deal with the conversations that a lot of people don't want to have, right? We talk about um, life and the impact, and I celebrate your perspective, and I also will push you to do what I know you have been wanting to do for a very long time. The things that you know are already inside of you to do. The thing I love about it is that you're not new at this. You've probably been an advocate for a long time. You've probably even been an activist for a long time. And you were able to hide behind the idea of that label, right? When I did a lot of criminal justice reform, youth sentencing reform, kind of high level activism and advocacy, it was a safe space for me to talk about those issues. So I never had to worry about finding my voice or not speaking up. But then when I transitioned that over into the corporate world or into entrepreneurship, that bridge wasn't there. And boy, did I put the brakes on myself for a very long time. If you're dealing with insecurities, like I've already addressed, right, or other insecurities, what will people think? Will people misread what I'm saying? Will they not understand the context in which I'm sharing, right? Or maybe you need mind shifts. Maybe you need to make the critical connections, and that's what we will do. Whether you're working with me in Awaken Your Voice, or we're doing the deeper one-on-one work in Truth and Legacy, or any other way of working with me, is my work focuses on addressing the critical points that need to be made for you to become whole, for you to feel whole, for you to be able to know that there is so much power in your story, there is so much power in your history, there is so much power in your future, and those things all work together to really showcase who you are, to talk about the message and the legacy that you and I want to leave behind. So my biggest advice for you is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to share who you are. Don't be afraid that things will happen. This is not a space where we are inviting those traumas and insecurities to overtake us. Like, we recognize them for what they are, and we use them as stepping stones, baby, to get moving. So I encourage you to join me in Awaken Your Voice. Oh my gosh, because it's going to be sisterhood, people who get you, people who are not going to judge you, people who don't feel like in order for you to win, I have to lose, and vice versa. We're going to all win together, because there is a shift that needs to happen big time in our industries. Whether you're in corporate, you're working a typical job, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you're a COO, CEO, whatever the case is, there is a major shift that needs to happen. A lot of women are neglecting themselves because they feel like they have to build a legacy based on their accomplishments and proving their capabilities. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, But a huge piece missing from legacy is this life experience piece. Yes, you're bad at what you do. You are one of the best at what you do. But also you're the best at being who you are. You have been through your experiences like no one else has. Let's bridge and merge those things together. That's an important piece that's missing. It doesn't just have to be your story. It doesn't just have to be what you've done and what you've accomplished. There is safety in knowing that there is the duality of the two. I want you to feel safe, but I also want you to know that it's time to do it. It's time to rock this, and that you don't have to do it by yourself. You do not have to do it by yourself. Reach out to me, reach out to other sisters. It's also for men. I love working with men, but it's time. I am truly, truly committed to raising up a generation where voices are loud and proud, and they're actually saying things that matter. They're saying that just because you know this about me doesn't mean this, and this, because we all know that people will misjudge and mislabel and all of those things. But you, my dear, have a voice, you have a message, and you are a powerhouse. And I don't want to let you see another 6 months or 6 years or 16 years go by without you raising your voice, refining it, creating your story, putting it together, being proud to share it, because you know that that's where your gold is going to be. So many other women and men are going to step up and go, oh my God, me too. Like, me too. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this. I know that I'm not alone. And I'm committed to helping all of us at that space. So don't be afraid. And if you need a safe space, if you want to feel supported in doing this, if you want to get the expertise attached to it, then join me, join me, join me. I'm so excited. If you have any questions, let me know. Ta-ta for now, everybody. Bye.